Well, hello scrappers, welcome back to my channel. Mike here. Now, in a recent scrap pickup I did, and I will put a link to that pickup in the upper right corner so you can check that out. I got a whole bunch of good stuff from one of my best clients, okay? Including, I got 3 of these. And now this is the control unit from a big Branson Ultrasonic Degreaser. And these control units are dead. Deader than doornails. Otherwise, I'd be trying to resell them. But nope, they're dead. So today, we're going to scrap this out. And I think you're going to be interested in this. It's almost all aluminum. Top case aluminum, bottom's aluminum. Sides have big, massive aluminum heat sinks on both sides. There's more aluminum inside. Big aluminum heat sinks. Chunky, heavy-duty power cord. A lot of copper in that power cord. So we're going to scrap this out and see what goodies are on the inside. But first, I think I'll give you a little review of some of the stuff I picked up in that scrap pickup. Because some of it has turned out to be surprisingly good. Alright? So let me show you some of the stuff I got and tell you some of my future plans for it. Well, first off, I got this Sato barcode label printer, and I've got a lot of these big label printers, barcode label printers in the past, and if I can get them working, they're worth money. So I will try to see if I can get this working. I'll plug it in, see if it's got any life to it. I'll hook it up to my laptop, install the drivers for it, and see if I can get it to print. I do have some label media for it, and there is still some transfer media inside. So I should be able to see if it works. Like I say, every working label printer like this I've been able to sell. This one's kind of on the lower end. If it works, it's only worth a couple $100, but usually I could sell them within hours of putting them on eBay if they work. So that's a find if it works. I gotta figure it out. Over here, this is an oldie but a goodie. It's a Pentium 2 computer. It's in excellent condition. It does not look like a 25-year-old computer. It's beautiful. It's not yellowed. It's not beat up. Nothing's broken. And it boots up to Windows 95. This is going to be featured on my second channel where I do retro computing and electronics. So watch out for a video to come on there. Going to get this built up into a decent system. It's a find. So of all the well, I didn't get that many desktops on this last trip, but this was a gem. This was a jewel. They gave me a whole bunch of flat screen monitors. Maybe they gave me this one by mistake, because I tested them all. They all had issues, or didn't work at all, except for this one. It seems to be perfect. It works great. So, hey, thanks for the free monitor. I got 4 of these stir plate units. All it does is stir. It doesn't heat. Tested them all. 1 of the 4 works great. The other 3 are broken. But, of the 3 broken ones, it's all aluminum. It's all, the base here is heavy cast aluminum. It's got aluminum down here. Everything in it's aluminum except for the motor and the magnet. So, and it's heavy. It's a big unit. You can see my hand here for scale. This thing is, it must weigh 15 pounds, and it's all aluminum. And I got 3 more of them I can scrap out. I'll keep 1 for use as a actual stir plate in my fume hood. I got 6 of these little Branson ultrasonic tanks, cleaning tanks. 3 of them actually work. So my plan is to keep 1 for myself and sell the other 2. So I got 5 of these constant temperature units right here. Took 1 apart, and it was a pain in the you-know-what to get apart, let me tell you. But I'll tell you what, it's all aluminum construction again. The cases are aluminum. All the internal components are aluminum. And they have this big honking aluminum radiator inside that's a big, heavy, chunky thing. So, yeah, gotta be micro-scrapping all these out when I get a chance for the aluminum. It's kind of a pain, but boy, there's a lot of aluminum in them. Yeah, so that was a pretty epic scrap pickup. I got some stuff I can resell. I got some stuff I can keep for myself for my own projects, and I got some stuff I can scrap out and take to the scrap yard, make some cash. So we're going to scrap out this thing today. Let me get the top cover off and show you what it looks like inside. Just a few screws holding it on. Yeah, it's a shame these are all broken, but because I'm sure if it worked, I could resell it for some good cash too. A lot of big companies have these Branson ultrasonic degreasers. I know the companies I worked for did, and they were always breaking down. I mean, that's not a hit on Branson. I mean, there's just, you know, there's a lot of them in use, so they're breaking down, and the parts are expensive. This top cover, aluminum. Add it to my aluminum pile down here. So if we look inside, well, we got this side and this side, heavy aluminum heat sinks. We got another big, heavy extruded aluminum heat sink right here. We got another aluminum heat sink right here. The bottom, there's a steel plate that makes up the bottom of the thing, but the bottom cover down here, that's aluminum too. Front and back are plastic. I thought they were metal at first because it's a really dense, hard plastic, but no, it's plastic. So, yeah. But the hardest part about getting these things apart is all of the freaking wires. My goodness. There's wires here, there, and everywhere holding everything together. But get the front and the back cover off. Then it'll be easier to get the thing apart. Start with the back cover, I guess. Take it off. It's a little easier than the front cover. In theory. Got some strange looking components in here too. You know, if you're at all into electronics, you might look at some of this stuff and think it's a little strange. But this thing's designed to work in the ultrasonic frequency range, so the transformers are a little funky, the capacitors are a little different, you know, a little different than what you might be used to. Let's see, I gotta take that off too, and for that they have switched to slotted screws. Slotted screwdriver. Bring a few other tools over here that I'm going to need imminently. There we go. It's just a matter of cutting and disconnecting wires, which we got plenty of here. And I will cut this cord off too and add it to my collection. Well, actually I don't have to cut it. There we go. Alright, so that's all plastic. It does have a connector here. I assume the pins inside are gold, although yeah, I can see the gold in there. I may take that round military style connector out of there and save it. So that's a possibility. Let me see if I can get the front panel off. That'll make it infinitely easier to disassemble. Though they have cleverly hidden the screws underneath this plastic applique. And underneath this one here too. Yeah, this is the second one I've disassembled, so I know what I'm getting myself into here. This is already going easier than the first one, because I had to figure it all out for the first one. Okay. Take that out, and I think there's a screw on the bottom that needs to come out too. Yeah. Yep. Let's connect these cables. There's the front panel off. Get this board out of it. These are, for the most part, I'd say low-grade boards. There are some gold-plated connectors on them, but really not a whole lot of really juicy stuff here. So, there's one. And then more plastic. Actually, you know what? There is some good stuff here. There's some stuff here again that I could use for my own project. So we zoom in a little bit. There's two 10-segment LED bar graphs right here, and they're socketed, so I could just pull them right out. And I will keep those for myself. Work on my own electronics and retro computing projects over on my second channel. So I set those aside out of harm's way. And then we got lots of cables, wires. Let's see. This board here needs to come out. And again, this is definitely a low-grade board here. It's got nothing much on it. One gold-plated connector, but beyond that, not much. Only a couple of IC chips. It's mostly just empty board real estate. The value in these things is definitely in all the aluminum that they have. So yeah, there's another board. It does have a gold-plated connector right there, but you know, that's about it. There are some transformers on these boards, so there's a little bit of iron and copper. Now you can tell when they designed this thing, they made everything in it really easy to replace. So they must have problems with stuff going bad. There's one screw holding this board in. If I take that screw out over here, and then just slide the board, and then it just pops right out. Now there's another, I would say, low-grade board. Here's a funky transformer I was telling you about. This is a high-frequency transformer. This thing operates at 40 kilohertz in the ultrasonic range, way above human hearing. Although you can hear some of the cavitation that these things produce as they run, but you can't hear the actual ultrasonic frequency. And again, got two screws holding it in, probably two because it's so heavy, but if you slide it, there it pops right out. I'm wondering, I need another hobby like I need a hole in the head, but I'm wondering if this could be useful for building a Tesla coil. The frequency it operates at. I don't know. It's actually not very heavy for a transformer, so there's not a lot of iron and copper here, so you're not going to make a lot of money off that. And look at this big chunky heat sink right here. So we got some big, I don't know if these are IGBTs or SCRs. I'd have to look up the number on them. But, you know, if I was to hazard a guess, I would say, since this thing was thrown out as unrepairable, oh, there's another low-grade board, by the way, I would suspect that these things are probably bad. They would probably be amongst the most expensive components in this, and the most difficult to replace. But these are big honking power switching semiconductors of some sort. Again, I'd have to look up the number. and see what they are. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the parts that went bad. Then there's a few more screws here that are holding that big honking aluminum heat sink on there. And this rail here, by the way, is aluminum too. Like almost everything in this is aluminum except for this one plate that everything's mounted to. But even it has an aluminum cover plate on the other side of it. Oh, there's our big honking aluminum heat sink right there. Okay. So, clean up this plate a little bit. Take off this bridge rectifier and this capacitor. We'll have some more aluminum. There's some more aluminum. Yeah, I'm sorry the lighting's a little harsh this morning. We are in direct sunlight today. I'm working in a different part of my lab over here. So I hope you can actually see what I'm doing in this harsh sunlight. Working over here yesterday was a good idea. Film some stuff, which will appear in future videos. But it was gloomy all day. And this got me at least some light being over in this area. But today, the sun has decided to come out and bless us with its presence for the first time in a few days. And yeah, the lighting's a little harsh. Alright. So let me see if I can get the bottom plate and these two big heat sinks off. Oops. Yeah, we're getting into Florida's gloomy season, where it's foggy in the mornings and then it kind of lingers all day some days. So another aluminum plate. Not much aluminum in that thin sheet aluminum, but you know, it adds up. A pile of it growing over there. So 3 more screws. There's one of the big chunky side aluminum heat sinks right there. Yeah, we're getting some serious aluminum now. Let's see, here's another board. It's got a single screw holding it in. And I should be able to slide it out. Single screw? What else is holding it? Come on. I only see one screw, but something's preventing it from coming out. There it goes. Didn't want to slide over to where the come out. Alright. So there's another fairly low-grade board. It's got some interesting capacitors on it. Again, if I was like getting into building Tesla coils or maybe a induction heater, these capacitors could come in handy. So we'll see about the future. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this heat sink right here, this is another piece of aluminum right here. This one's a little more difficult to get off. I got studs and nuts holding it in. Then once I get this little one off, I can go after this other big heat sink over here and get it, and then we'll be pretty much done. It's actually, once you know the secrets of getting into these things, it's a pretty quick teardown. So there's some more sheet aluminum right there. And now I can get the screws that hold this big side piece on. The last 3 screws. Well hidden under the dust bunnies. There we go. Another big chunky chunk of aluminum. And then we've got this steel base plate. A whole bunch of screws. So that's it. that's pretty much it. Let me show you everything I got out of this thing. I mean, I'll throw the screws and the base plate on my steel pile, but of course, you know, steel doesn't make you much money. I gotta wait until I got a whole trailer load of it to go to the scrap yard and make $100, you know. But got some aluminum here. 2 big, chunky, heavy aluminum side rail heat sinks. We got this big. Oh, this one. This is heavy. I mean, this is, I don't know, 5 or 6 pounds anyway. Extruded aluminum right there. Got some more sheet aluminum here. We had two of these, the top and bottom plates. You know, we got some low-grade circuit boards and some wiring here. Nothing to write home about. Like I said, the money's really in the aluminum, I think. And yeah. So that's it. We've got some plastic. I do need to just rivet it in. I'm gonna have to drill that out. I do need to harvest this connector here because it's got some really big chunky gold pins in it. More ribbon cable. And that's pretty much it. But, you know, hey, how long did that take me? Not very long at all. Got a lot of nice aluminum there. So, gonna make a few bucks at the scrapyard. You know, keep me in beer money for a while once I get the rest of this stuff scrapped out, especially once I get the big radiators out of the rest of those thermal control units. They are so hard to get apart, though. Oh, I probably spent 2 hours working on the first one. It's almost not worth it, but I'll at least get the radiators out of them. I don't know if I'm going to bother cleaning up the rest of it. But, well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this quick scrap out teardown video of this Branson ultrasonic unit, and the quick review of all the stuff I got in that last scrap pickup. So if so, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. You know, subscribe to see my future videos. Check out my second channel, ElectroGeek64. You will see some of this stuff over there in the future, especially that Pentium 2 computer and maybe these LED bar graphs and some of these, yeah, who knows, maybe I'll salvage some of these other parts off these boards before I sell them. So check that out, like, subscribe over there, and thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye. So here's a little bit of post-credit content for you. You know, I was looking at getting this connector out of here. Decided to salvage the on-off switch too. That could come in handy in some of my projects. And I thought, man, this thing's heavy. Well, all the weight's in the fan. This is a heavy-duty aluminum casting. You rarely get fans, and the blades are aluminum too. This is a heavy fan. It weighs a couple pounds. I mean, you rarely get fans that are all aluminum like this anymore. They're usually all plastic. So I'm gonna have to scrap this out too. Get the guts in the central hub out, and well, there's a little more aluminum. Alright, and I gotta get my drill out and drill that out. Alright, well, thanks for watching. There's your post-credit content. See you in the next video. Bye.